Hello, I'm Jacques Halbronn. I would like to speak on a subject which is rather delicate to follow and to understand. It is the price of the words. You heard probably about the fact that the French bank BNP Paribas had to pay $8 million or 8 million euro to the United States because they used dollars for certain activities. Yeah, okay. But I think the United States were not very well inspired to attach themselves to this French bank because French is a problem for the United States. When I say French, I mean here French language, French words. I can say that the dollars are to United States what the French words are to the French state. And it may be the good time to open our eyes to certain realities which have been occulted and hidden. It's a matter of scientific debate, but I think basically it can very well be considered as a major issue for the 21st century and for the next decades. The price of the words. There's the price of the words, the price of a dollar, the price of oil or gas. There is a price of some different resources which are within the history of a country, within the history of land, of earth, sometimes a matter of millions of years, like for oil. Sometimes a matter of hundreds and hundreds of years, like for a language, for words, and sometimes for 2 centuries, as it is the case for the dollar. So we are entering into a new conception of economics, which is made possible by internet, by all sorts of electronic devices. And the day is not very far when it will be possible to charge any country, any society, any enterprise which will use French words. You're going to tell me, oh, but French words are the property of everybody. That's your opinion. It's a matter of discussion. You can also say that dollar is an international money which doesn't belong to anybody anymore. You can also say that oil is something which belongs to the earth and which is much more ancient than any state in the world. So why do they have any right to make other people pay for something which they haven't been, in any case, in no way contributing to produce as a matter, as a reality? So this new economics, which is economics about the money, the currency, the words, the oil, this is going to change totally some questions of richness, of wealth, of the different nations. And I think that France is going to benefit from that. So, if I was in the government, the French government, I would say, all right, the bank will pay for the use of dollars they should have not used, even if it has nothing to do with the states, but the orders, the deals were in dollars. So since the deals were in dollars, it's a concern of the United States. Good. Now, I think that we'll have a considerable amount of money which will be 1,000 times more important than this a few billions of dollars that they have been claiming to the French bank. Because everything, every newspaper, every message using French words, every literature using French words will be a matter of royalties for a French state, for a French special institute. And it includes, of course, I think you might not have understood me, I'm not speaking of the people who learn French. No, this is not a matter. This is a marginal matter. I'm speaking of any language which using French words. I didn't say the French language, I said the French words. So some people would say, well, French words is not the French language. Yes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And people who say that are not linguists. And there are, in English, I'm not speaking of other languages like German or Russian, who use also a great deal of French words. It is a well-known fact that a considerable percentage of words used in English, therefore also in America, are of French origin. That's a fact. They have been created in the last 1,000 years by the French culture, by the French people, by the French history, and they have as much right to create money in favor of the French state than the states who will sell oil or gas or whatever. Isn't it true? And they have also the same right, if French words are used on the international level, they have the same right to be in charge of it and to introduce certain laws about it, how to use it, when to use it. The same right as the United States when they decide that this and this has to be paid because it was an activity in dollars. That's what I think. So this is a new issue, and I think that this will be very important for the French state. But it's also a very important question for science, because language is not just a sort of fantasy, it's a tool, it's a technique, it's an invention, it's a creation, and it is something which has a very important structure. So if people want to refuse to use French words, okay, no problem. You just cancel all the French words you have in your language, which would be very, very funny, as a matter of fact, because you just imagine the newspapers in America without the French words. It would be completely empty. That's as simple as that. And the TV, there would be no possibility to say anything at the television without using French words. Hitler tried in Germany in the 30s to cancel the French words which had entered centuries ago and for centuries in German. Yeah, well, he didn't really succeed in doing that, the situation of German is much less dramatic towards French words than it is for English language. So now I know we will have certainly commissions about the fact that the French words are in fact Latin words and that we should pay also to Italy for Latin. But I'm sorry to tell you that Italian people do not speak anymore Italian, Latin. Maybe in the Vatican some people speak Latin, and in any case there are very few Latin words used in the different languages. Because when I say a French word, my definition is exactly that. The same spelling of the word. From A to Z, the same spelling of the word as it exists in French or as existed in several centuries, because French also has changed, and there are words which come from Old French but which still belong to the French property. And I, of course, do not consider the grammatical aspect which could be added to French words, which are part of the local language. You know? Not because you are going to add a final expression at the end of the word, but it changes the situation. So I just wanted you to think about all this and consider that if you want to start a war about these new conceptions of dollars, which the States United have a control on everything connected with dollars. Okay, let's say that France wants to have a control on anything connected with the French words. Thank you.